Mississippi, downtown Cleveland at the Danny Griffith Law Firm. That's where we have set up the Element Wealth studio for the 50 Nights of Lights here in lovely Cleveland, Mississippi. We're pleased to welcome now Billy Nowell, the mayor of the city of Cleveland. Mayor, good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Gerard. Glad to be with you again.
So we got Chamber of Commerce weather today. It's warming up, but it's beautiful skies, and over our shoulders, the beautiful downtown with all the decorations set up, getting ready for the 50 Nights of Lights. It's going to be a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's been going on for 8 years now, and it's getting bigger and better every year.
Man, it's awesome. So you've got so many attractions here, Mayor, that are world-class with the Railroad Museum, of course, the Grammy Museum. You've got just a fantastic community, a thriving and bustling area. You got to be proud as a mayor.
Well, we're extremely proud. It's been a lot of forefathers that came before us that worked really hard to make our downtown and our whole town what it is, and we're proud to carry it on.
This 50 Nights of Lights, that's a big boost to the city and the area's economy, is it not?
Right. Well, our downtown merchants have said each year, they're bigger and better at Christmas time, and obviously 50 Nights of Lights is a big part of that.
And they fully embrace this, your merchants, shops.
They love it, obviously. It adds such a new dimension to everything in Cleveland, and they have been the ones that have profited from it, which we're happy.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And it attracts so many visitors, and I suspect, Mayor, that many people that come for the 50 Nights of Lights or come to the other attractions, their first time to visit the area often.
Well, we've had many, many people say this is their first time here, but they will be back, and that's very heartwarming too. Yeah.
Well, it when I think about Mississippi and Mississippi's roots, just was thinking about that driving up this morning, you always got to think about the Mississippi Delta. I mean, it is truly the quintessential Mississippi.
Well, it has a mystique about it. The Mississippi Delta has a mystique, and I would say not only in the United States, but I'd say everywhere in the world, that people have heard about the Mississippi Delta, whether it be the cotton fields, the blues, whatever. But it is a certain mystique about the Delta.
Yeah, and people need to experience that, and it's a great contrast, is it not, Mayor, of the old, because you've got lots of just great history that's preserved, but you got lots of new and modern as well.
Right, and we're extremely proud of that. I think that Cleveland has been going forward for years and years now, and we're proud of the fact that we're able to stay up with the world happenings.
How's the city doing, Mayor, from a financial perspective? You know, I got to ask you that. How you guys doing?
Yeah, well, actually, we're doing real good.
Okay.
All bills are paid and had a really good budget and didn't have to go up on taxes. So anytime you do that, you make everybody smile.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you attribute that just to kind of the staying power of the people of Cleveland that just want to make their home here? And, of course, they're the ones that contribute to the economy.
Yeah, I think that we've had a lot of people stay here that once they got out of college, they felt like they needed to move on to the bigger places, the Nashvilles and wherever. But a lot of people have come back to Cleveland and made their homes here. And we've had people that have gone to Delta State and for Teach for America and that type of thing.
Yeah.
They liked it so much, they've had businesses downtown here, and they are part of our economy around here.
Well, Hannah Aguzzi with the Chamber was on earlier in the program, and she was talking about entrepreneurs that are launching businesses here.
Right.
That's fantastic.
We have a lot of people looking at us right now.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, it's a great lifestyle. You've got lots of the ingredients that make for a high quality of life.
Right, you really do. We had a small town, but we have our downtown area really high scale shopping, and of course we have crowded Kroger and Walmart and everything. So anyway, you have everything you need here. So we see people that stay here to shop now, where you used to say, well, we got to go to Memphis, we got to go to Jackson, we got to do that thing. But now we got everything. We live in Cleveland. So we're happy with that. We also, on the 50 Nights of Lights, Gerard, I've had a little ladies group that they say they go to Branson every year, and they say, Mayor, we don't need to go to Branson. We just need to ride around 50 Nights of Lights. So
wow. That's impressive. You're being compared to Branson now, you got to be proud of that, man. That's awesome. But I think there's a lot of truth to that. The planning to put this 50 Nights of Lights together, I know you said it's the 8th year, takes a lot of people, doesn't it? A lot of effort.
It does. It does. The city has a big part of it, the chamber, and a lot of volunteers. And it's a lot of hard work, but they've got it down to a pretty good science now. It used to take close to 3 weeks to a month to do it, and I think they had it done in about 8 or 10 days past time.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's getting used to the routine. We have a lot of employees that have been with us a long time, so they've kind of figured it out, and it's going smoothly.
Well, speaking of that, how's your organizational structure looking? I know you're always looking for good people, but you're all filled out, looking good there?
We are. We have the best department. I would put most of our department heads against anybody in the state. We really have a well-oiled machine, the way I look at it. And the way I compare that is years ago when we would have our city board meetings, some of them could last 2 to 2.5, 3 hours. Now, about 30 minutes is what they last, because we have such good communications between City Hall and our department heads that the right hand knows what the left hand's doing.
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't be any surprises when you get in those meetings. That's the main thing.
Right.
So, which means people are talking continuously and working together cooperatively daily, as they should be. Yeah. So, there goes my papers. So, what kind of plans do you have? Anything in particular that you can talk about with respect to the city from an economic perspective? I know we talked about some entrepreneurs that are starting up businesses here, but any other things going on there you can talk about?
Well, I'm sure Hannah hit on that as well. But, yes, we do have people looking at different places in town for new places to put businesses in, and nothing specific particularly, but we do have a lot of interest at this point, and I think it's a lot of it because of the infrastructure that we've been able to build up around here with the hotels and with Delta State and all the things that we've got going in that respect.
And speaking of which, from an infrastructure perspective, as far as the city's responsibility, of course, you always got to be concerned with water and your road and bridge infrastructure. But if your economy's doing well and your revenue's coming in, are you able to stay up with that?
We truly are. Now, to say we don't have our potholes here and there, certainly we do. But I go back to our forefathers again. They were smart enough many decades ago. They did road work every year.
Yeah.
Cleveland being somewhat of a smaller town, didn't have all the roads that some of our bigger towns had. So we had a good infrastructure to work from.
Yeah, it makes sense. And it seems like, Mayor, just talking to other city leaders, where they get in trouble is when they don't continuously address it and maintain it and they get behind.
Right. If you don't do it yearly, you're going to be behind in no time.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Anything in particular with the legislative session coming up, Mayor, that you're looking for?
Well, there's always something there, and I've got an active part with the MMA, Mississippi Municipal League now.
Yeah.
This year being president.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
That's right. Thanks for reminding me that.
For Cleveland.
Yeah.
And last year I thought the big thing was going to be PERS.
Right.
And this year I think it's going to be, we're talking about tax cuts, which everybody wants to talk about, and it's really great. One thing that from MML standpoint that we've got to consider, though, is over the 300 299 smaller towns in Mississippi, well, up 299 towns, probably 3/4 of them are small towns.
Yeah.
And they may have one or two little Dollar Generals and a convenience store. So we need to consider those smaller towns too. Everybody needs to be made whole. It's as good as possible.
Talking about the sales tax diversion, there's discussion, as you know, about either reducing or fully eliminating the sales tax on groceries, and that diversion that municipalities receive would also get cut, and that could be a problem to the revenue for those small towns.
Particularly the really small towns.
Yeah, because a lot of times the local grocery store is the primary generator of sales tax revenue for them.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. I've talked to mayors who have said that and expressed concern. So I think the legislature and the lieutenant governor, the governor, the speaker of the House realize that, and I think they're going to take that into consideration.
I'm positive they do.
Yeah.
They're a great bunch. They do great for our state.
Absolutely. Mayor, thank you, sir, for coming on, and congratulations on the fine town of Cleveland over which you are the mayor, and I know you're going to have a fantastic 50 Nights of Lights. Good to see you, sir.
Thanks
you,
for coming
on. Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
You.
Yes, sir. Folks, we're stepping aside for a break. Once again in Cleveland, Mississippi for 50 Nights of Lights. Sean Johnson, director of Visit Cleveland.